What is up, everybody? Today is October 15th. Wow. We are already halfway through October, getting to the midpoint way of the NFL season. All right. But today I want to talk about a couple of quarterbacks. Okay. Drake May will probably be the majority of the discussion, but there's a couple other names that I want to talk about. And first, I want to discuss the idea of the conversation. Okay. So in the NBA from about 2018 to 2022, 4 or 5 year period, there was a lot of discussion around who is the best player in the league. Um, 2018, it was Steph and Braun still, but most people said Braun, right? Because 2018 LeBron was insane. But then 2019, Kawhi had the legendary run with the Raptors. Many people said there's no reason to not say Kawhi is the best in the league. Um, and then LeBron goes back and wins a championship with the Lakers in the bubble. And many people argue LeBron's the best. Meanwhile, Jokic is putting up crazy numbers, and people say he's the best. And then Giannis wins a championship, 50 points in a closeout game. And then people say Giannis is the best. There's no way to argue that. Then it went back to Jokic because he's winning MVPs, putting up averaging triple doubles as a big, something we've never seen before. And then he gets a championship. So I think obviously within the last 2 years, it's pretty much undoubtedly Jokic. But that idea of why so many people are arguing over who is the best player is because there truly is a large group of people that on any given night can be the best player in the league, can look like the best player in the league. So if you were to argue during that time, Giannis, Jokic, Kawhi, LeBron, Steph, there's really no one else that can completely say otherwise because all of these guys, when you're watching them individually on the court, they look like the best player in the world. And I think there's a similar thing going on in the NFL with quarterbacks. Now, Mahomes, he's the best, right? But he's the best because of his championships. Also, eye test, yes. Statistics, yes. All of that, he's the best. But on any given Sunday, there's guys like Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow that also look like the best quarterback in the world. Now, when they go against Mahomes, we know what happens, right? But I think this is why over the last 2 years, especially with Mahomes' stats being down, even though he was still winning Super Bowls, I think with his stats being down and seeing other great performances, especially statistically with Lamar winning MVPs, Josh Allen getting an MVP. We know Burrow went to the Super Bowl. They only got to beat Mahomes head to head in the AFC. There's the idea that one of these guys could be the best in the world. And now claiming that number one spot is really only a media thing. Like it's irrelevant to what happens on the football field. But I think that there are more than just those four guys that on any given day can look like the best quarterback in the league. And the other guys aren't as consistent as them, like a Justin Herbert. He week 1 through week 3, he had an argument to be looking like the best quarterback in the league. Now, do we know that he's not the best? Yes, we know that he's not the best because he has 0 rings. Does he even have a playoff win? I don't think so. But eye test wise, he looks like a guy who is just carrying his team to victories and can make throws that not many other people can make. And I think this is also something happening with Baker Mayfield right now. When he plays, it doesn't look like there's a lot of guys that can do better than what he's doing. I think CJ Stroud a little bit when he was in his rookie year, showing how much potential it seemed he had, was someone that could be in that discussion as well. Um, Someone like Jaden Daniels as well, similarly last year, people probably could have thought projection wise he would be in that discussion as well. I think Dak on certain Sundays looks like there isn't really much better you could do than what he is doing on certain games. But as I was saying earlier, this is meant to be discussing Drake May. And I think Drake May is going to be in that discussion of one of the guys that on any given Sunday can look like he's the best thrower of the football. Now, accolades wise, it's a tough comparison. Drake May and Mahomes, right? Like there's no comparison. And I'm a Chiefs fan. Like I know Mahomes is the best, but I can't deny that there's some weeks that quarterbacks have better performances and look incredible. And when I watched, like I'm not going to pretend like I watch every Drake May game, but I did watch him against the Saints, and I also watched a game last year against the Titans. And many of you have probably seen the throw against the Titans. It was zeros on the clock, fourth quarter, game was over, and he threw a ball all the way across his body to tie the game. I think they went into overtime. I don't know if they won or not in that game. I think they won. I don't know. Either way, that play I was like, wow, that's pretty legit. And it is just other quarterbacks can make that throw, but it's the idea of like trying it and doing it and pulling it off. Um, and then in this Saints game, I know it's the Saints aren't the best team in the world. They're one of the bottom teams in the league, and defensively they're not anything special, but they're a formidable competitive team and they play tough, and it was in the Superdome. It was in New Orleans. And it's not even the big deep bombs that he hit in that game that made me think, "Oh, Drake May can be in this discussion." It was the little things that of how efficient he was managing the game. There was one specific rollout where it was going to be like a 2-yard sack, and he left-handed just chucks the ball. And it's like things like that when you're quarterbacking are so important to have full control over the game. And there's things in that game, the way he was stepping up in the pocket so fluidly, just knowing his O line and his weapons and the personnel around him, that you don't see, especially in guys that young. He's by far the youngest quarterback starting, I think. I think he's 22 still. And also last year the record was not great. They were having a hard time putting wins together, but you did still see the flashes of potential. And he didn't even get a full season starting. I think he got 10 games or something like that. So this is his first official full year starting, and week 1 didn't do great for him. He threw like 40 something passes and they lost. And that was a game a lot of people thought that they should win and could win, especially now with how the Raiders look. That was not a great start. But since week 1, he has put up crazy numbers statistically as far as QBR, passer rating, whatever you want to call it, touchdown to interception ratio. His yards per game are crazy, and the deep ball, which I was saying wasn't really one of the big factors of why I'm saying he could be in this discussion, because on any given day, people can throw a deep ball and look good. I mean, we saw Russ against the Cowboys this year look great throwing the deep ball, but Drake May is not only doing that great, he's not throwing the deep ball great, he's also doing it very efficiently. So with, I respect Stephon Diggs, Keyshawn Booty, but they're not Jamar Chase, Malik Neighbors. Okay? So this could end up being a little bit of an overreaction. It could be premature. And I don't think saying that he's in this discussion right now because of that one game is fair, because he hasn't done anything really. Like, he's looked great this year, but he hasn't played in a playoff game. He hasn't played in a real game with any real stakes yet. So I do want to see the Patriots get to the playoffs and see Drake May continue to show that he is like a very, very high level, not only like um, arm talent, but he's playing at a high cerebral level. I think this is one of the biggest things with Mahomes, is that he just plays so smart all the time and never makes mistakes. And even when he gets in bad positions, he gets out of them so easily. And I think I'm seeing some of that in Drake May, which I think is way more valuable than having a cannon, right? Like, Bo Nix has a cannon, but he's I don't think him and Drake May are that comparable right now. It seems like with Denver, Sean Payton, Bo Nix, they're game planning around his limitations in a sense and what he can do well. And in New England with Drake May, they're just letting him carry the team offensively. So yeah, I think Drake May's legit. I think he's legit, and like I said, not right now would I say he's in that discussion, because ultimately, if you're in the discussion of being looking like you're the best on any given Sunday, then you're probably top five, because there's the defined four of Lamar, Burrow, Allen, and Mahomes, and that five spot's been pretty open for a while. A lot of people have put Herbert in that spot, but he really hasn't done it much in the playoffs. And if Drake May gets a round one upset and plays a tough divisional game, because I don't think they would make the AFC Championship game, but if he can continue to look like this, he might be coming for that five spot. He might be coming for it, and he's got a great coaching staff, and I think things are bright for New England, even though Brady has scarred me with watching the Patriots. I can at least root for great quarterback play in Drake May, and I, I honestly, it's not like I even got to worry about anything, because ultimately the Chiefs have Mahomes. So when it's all said and done, the GOAT will be on top. All right, that's gonna be it for me. Shout out to Drake May.